You messed with my time off for the last time. I used to work at the post office as an RCA, which is a rural carrier associate. It was a part-time driver job, it paid well, and I wanted to get the full-time job with benefits, so you have to start somewhere. The full-time driver on my route was Bill. Bill was his own man. He did what he wanted, and the postmasters allowed it. When I was trained, I rode one day with Bill. The next day, Bill called out. I then had to sort the mail and drive the route all alone. It was horrible. The postmaster should have told him to come in, but he was a spineless man. I didn't finish until around 8 p.m. It should have been around 3 p.m. given the time of year and how long it would eventually take me. My schedule was every Saturday and any vacation days Bill would take. I also covered every time he called out. Now, as this was supposed to be a one-day-a-week job, I had a full-time job as well at my local hospital. My post office was in the next county over, about 45 minutes away each way. I would get calls at 6 a.m. from Bill with some BS excuse for him not wanting to come to work. He would say he had to see an orthodontist today. I work with these doctors, and I know that there was no way that he would be able to get an appointment that early. If he needed an appointment, he should have called me the next day before so I could get my second shift job covered. Again, spineless PM would allow it to happen without any recourse. On my anniversary, I had told him I was going to take my wife out to a nice lunch before we both went to our job at the hospital. At 6 a.m., the phone rang, and it was the same lie as always, and I had to go in. I reminded him it was my anniversary, and he said too bad. I went in totally pissed off. The same thing on my birthday, and then on my wife's birthday, he called out, and I had to do both jobs. A few months later, and nothing had changed. I applied to nursing school and was accepted for the fall program. I had several months, so I kept it to myself. My plan was to work the same way I had, and if I was offered a full-time post office job, I'd take it. If not, I'd go into nursing school. Both were great careers. Bill called out whenever the workload was heavy, like with Sears catalogs. They were the worst. The postmasters would do things like remove all the toilet paper from the bathrooms, thinking we were wasting time pooping, I guess. He'd also turn up the heat in the summer so we'd be miserable and leave on our route faster, which was physically impossible because no matter how hot you got, you had to sort everything before leaving on your route. Sorting was by hand, and I was trying to be very accurate. Now, Bill had gotten remarried shortly before I started with the post office. They never had a chance for a honeymoon, so they put it off. They scheduled a 2-week trip to the Caribbean. When he told me there was a month to go before they left, which was plenty of notice, he told me the tickets were non-refundable, so don't screw me over. I had had enough of Bill and the PM screwing me over all the time. So 10 days before he left, I put in my 2 weeks notice. The PM assumed I'd work through Bill's vacation. Nope, just the first 4 days. Bill called me at home. Man, I've been good to you. You've got to cover my time off. The vacation's non-refundable. I reminded him of all the times he's lied to force me to cover, and the days I had to work for him, like my anniversary, my birthday, my wife's birthday, etc. Also how he screwed me over in orientation, making my first several weeks miserable. The PM refused to cover, and Bill had to cancel the trip and come in and work.